So I'm going to share a really cool story. A lot of people understand that realtors just call people a few times, and then if they don't want to use us, then we just kind of, forget about them. But sometimes we don't. Sometimes if you are looking for a realtor and you tell me that you're not ready yet, sometimes I'm going to follow up with you. Sometimes for a few months, sometimes for years, sometimes until you tell me to bug off. And we get told to bug off a lot. But this story I'm going to tell you is extremely touching. So in 2017, a fella came in to a third-party referral site, which is sort of how we get business. His dad was sick and he wanted to get some information about potentially selling the house because he was really hoping his dad would move with him to another city so he could be closer to him so that the son could take care of him. But that day never happened. His father died shortly after and never moved to the city to be closer to his son. But I didn't know this because the son had never actually told me any of this stuff. I had just tried to contact him several times and couldn't reach him, and maybe over the years had a couple of messages from him, but it wasn't nothing like, hey, I'm ready to list this house. And it wasn't this giant, fancy, fantastic house. It was a modest house, but we don't care. So fast forward to 2024. And unbeknownst to us, we get a call from a lady, and she says, hey, my son gave me your information. I have a home I'd like to sell. I'd like for you to come by and take a look. So of course we're like, sure, just let us know the information. We'll set up a time. So I set up a time. And in looking up the address, I'm like, oh, that address sounds familiar. And for those of you that are realtors, sometimes we just have weird memories and we can just remember things from, 5+ years ago. It's bizarre. But anyway, I recognized the address. So we're creating the listing folder and we're getting ready to go over there. And my assistant tells me, I think the fella's name is the husband because this is a woman who wants to meet us at the house. So I get there and I meet her and she says, my son, boy, do you have an admirer in him. He has been receiving your monthly market reports and your communication since 2017. And I want you to know my husband passed away and he wasn't ready to move to the city, but now he is. Now I'm ready to move to the city because I don't want history to repeat itself and I don't want to miss the opportunity to be closer to my son. And then it hit me. And I remember the story. And the story was that the dad was very attached to the house. And despite all the son's energy and effort to get him to move, it was just too much for him. He didn't want to. So now, 7 years later, I'm sitting in the house and I'm talking to his widow and we're making a plan to get the home sold. But that's not where the story ends. No. The mom says, can you please call my son after you leave because he'll be so happy that I listened to him. And I said, sure. So I called him. And this is where the tears happened. He was so appreciative that I called. He said, Miss Jennifer, I am so happy that you called. I've been getting your stuff and I don't know anybody in Memphis because I've always lived in Atlanta. Something I didn't really know. Or maybe I knew, but I just forgot. Anyway, he said, I cannot believe that you kept in touch with me so diligently like that. And I just want you to know. I kept getting those market reports. I always knew I was going to use you. I always knew. But I kept getting those market reports. Sorry. Because it made me feel closer to my dad. And I couldn't bring myself to unsubscribe. And it really helped me. It helped me in my healing because every time I saw the market reports, I was remembering my dad. And that hit me. Like I've never heard that before. So then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's bigger. It's bigger than just selling houses. It's bigger than selling houses, but for this son to close a chapter on a home his father loved and to be able to move his mother to the city that he lives in now, and for him to have kept in touch with me like I kept in touch with him for 7 years, it's pretty awesome. So realtors, if you don't have a CRM, if you're not following up with your people, I encourage you to do it. It's a really cool story. It's why I'm a realtor. It's really freaking cool, and I can't wait to help this family close this chapter and start another one.